What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Thursday, December 24th, 2020. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you're doing very well. We had definitely some purging energy yesterday of maybe getting some emotions out, having talks, figuring things out long term, and today's kind of just a different energy. And it's just not like that holiday season that I think we're all used to, and it doesn't take an astrologer to give you that information. I think it's pretty obvious with the way the world's manifested for us over the last year. It's just different times, but it really is different times in the sense of where we're at this year with Jupiter, Saturn, and Aquarius, and this Taurus moon that we have today. So we will just take a little look, of course, at it. One thing I want to bring to mind is just all this energy in the first decan of signs. There's just so much youthful energy right now. So it's almost and it kind of goes back to the South Node in Sag, which I want to touch on. It's that guru, we're going to tell you how you need to live, that kind of energy. Yes, people have wisdom and they put it out there, and that's still a good thing, but the just old kind of you have to do things this way, that's not, it's just this curious energy with all the planets at such a low degree at the moment. How can we be curious? And I just wanted to bring that up because it's an interesting thing in the chart. But that Taurus moon here with Black Moon Lilith and Uranus, we get this moon in Taurus, and I think we want to feel really good. We want to, see the value in our life and, make sure we're learning how to nurture ourselves and have that confidence that, we can make the life we want to happen. But it could feel kind of shaky. At the same time, it's going to make really good aspects to Mercury and the Sun. So we have this trine from Mercury to Uranus today that's exact. So I think that there's going to be just a flash of insight to what is going to give you the value in life. And it might not be anything you thought it was going to be. This is why this is kind of a holiday season that's not going to look like one we've ever seen before. I think it's just this whole different energy. That moon's also going to square off with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius with Black Moon Lilith. So it's really testing us on it's that first test of can you find value within yourself, within the little things emotionally, or can you stimulate yourself intellectually also? And I think we have to figure out how to be responsible for our own values and not look for outside influence when it comes to what's going to make us feel good in life. This is a big test. Everything's shaken up with Uranus here. And remember, Jupiter and Saturn are getting close to squaring Uranus. We're already feeling that. So it's just this real test of value that we've, kind of gone through the last 20 years with the last Jupiter-Saturn cycle at 22 degrees of Taurus. So it's this kind of first test, okay, did you emotionally figure out how valuable you are, and can you create the world you want, and can you put the steady work in and kind of hold on to your self-worth and not just give that away? And I think that's very important. I think that's where the gift's at with Jupiter, is if we can be smart enough and intellectual enough and still curious enough with the North Node in Gemini to make sure that our values of our own self are still a priority moving forward. And it doesn't have to be the priority and the values of what the world's doing or what you're being told to do, but more or less how can you feel good? How can you be responsible and steadfast in your goals? What do you want to accomplish in life? I think that there's risk that needs to be taken with Capricorn. It's Capricorn's very risk reward. And I think that the risk is not losing yourself. And with the Sun square Chiron, that's kind of, bringing up some karma, bringing up some wounds, bringing up some weird things with identity, with self-worth, with career. Are you doing what you want to do? Are you making yourself happy? And it kind of comes back to you got to do what brings you value. And especially on a day like today, it's definitely a day with family, Christmas Eve, and We still have Eris square Pluto and Mars. They're coming off that energy. So it's just like, it's heavy. It's heavy with like people wanting to like get what they want. And that's good, but not if they're like forcing others to give them what they want. And I know it's a time of giving gifts. It's great. Christmas is a fun time. But, emotionally, it's like the greatest gift we can get right now is our self-confidence, our self-worth, our self-value in a really like shaken up and different time. So it just has this, things are just out there a little bit. Venus is still kind of like not aspecting much in Sag, but I think it's really giving us a chance to explore what feels good in life, explore relationships that are going to connect us. We do have Juno in sextile to Jupiter still. It's relationships are important. I think people are coming into our life or leaving life for a reason. If you don't have like that Jupiter Juno like connection with somebody, and there's like just constant fights and things aren't like in harmony, and there isn't like a very divine balance with the relationships, I think it's like coming to the surface more and more. And with Saturn there, it's kind of like you got to be responsible for having something beautiful and like having a divine union, if you will. Like nothing's perfect. We're always going to have, disagreements in life, but it's like how you get through that. And is there like an overall unconditional love? And I think that's very important. It's just that like unconditional love aspect is going to open up the doors for relationships. Conditional love is just like I love something because they do this for me or do that. Conditional love is finite, if you will, and unconditional love is infinite. So how can we find that unconditional love for other people in our life when it comes to relationships and our values? Unconditional love for self, I think, is so important as well. Neptune's still squaring the nodes. I could say that every day for the next 3 weeks. I probably will. It's a big deal. We can feel like we're in between worlds. We can feel like there's a sense of time not being there. Like we're just kind of like in this timeless kind of continuum, in a time-space continuum. And I think that the more we can connect spiritually with the Neptune and Pisces, the better. We don't want to escape reality, but we do want to find a balance of connecting with the divine, connecting with the universe, but then bringing it down, grounding it with a Taurus moon, Uranus and Taurus, but grounding it in different ways, looking at things outside the box, connecting to the right people, being objective, especially with North Node in air, in Gemini, Jupiter, Saturn in air, in Aquarius. Like intellectually stimulated people are, having people in your life that are going to intellectually stimulate you and being able to objectify what feels good for yourself and what doesn't is important. And those are kind of going to be the tests. Like, are you getting stimulating energy in your life, or are you getting energy that's dragging you down into weird places that don't make you feel comfortable, don't make you feel like you're worthy, or just bring up wounds all the time with the Sun square Chiron? And that's going to be going on for Christmas too. So it's just different Christmas vibes. Again, don't need an astrologer to tell you that. It's interesting too that the only retrograde planet is Uranus. If we stop here at Pluto. And things are starting to really move. Jupiter, Saturn, fast. Everything's going fast. Mars is going to be out of shadow at 28 degrees of Aries. So Mars is picking up space. Mars gets up to about 36 minutes a day, 38 minutes a day, full speed. So Mars is like starting to really, pick up the pace. Everything else is moving pretty quick. Mercury's really ripping now that it passed the sun. It's going to get up to about 2 degrees soon before it retrogrades in Aquarius. So I think things are just kind of happening fast. We're looking for stimulation. We don't want to get caught up in old stories. We want to go into the new. We got to find the confidence, the self-worth, and the value. And I just think it's going to be in different ways. Also, look at the scores. Mars is calling the shots today at a plus 11. But otherwise, it is a positive day. It's just like different. It's just different energy with so many different things that we haven't seen, especially Jupiter, Saturn, and Aquarius. It's just changing things with a square to Uranus. Like, reality's just not going to look like it ever did, but that doesn't mean you can't still have your self-value, your self-worth. Saturn, of course, doing great, but it definitely a positive score. So It's interesting to me that the sun right now is +7 um, in Capricorn. That's interesting. It's because it has mutual reception with Mars. Huh. In exaltation points. Yeah. So the sun and Mars are doing very well right now for that reason, because they're both in their exaltation. So I would say that, when it comes to the masculine energy, you kind of got to take charge a little bit for your life and your values. That I'm glad I saw that and pointed that out. I hope you have a great Christmas. It's definitely different vibes, but it's how you can make your world and ground in the world that you want to ground in, and use the masculine energy to do what you need to do for yourself and to really find that self-worth, self-value. Drop the old stories, drop some wounds. If they come up, they come up. But Uranus is giving those crazy downloads, so the mind could feel like it's all over the place, and you might need to kind of take a second to process that, because it's going to be of significance. It's going to accelerate you towards more of a world that you can build, and it's going to bring you some sort of ultimate fulfillment. The King of Coins reversed today. I got the Queen of Coins yesterday, so more coin energy. Yeah, I think we're trying to figure out and really understand this world, and it's just different. And that doesn't mean that we can't figure it out completely. Definitely want to find what is of value in life. It could be maybe just a little shaken up today, I would say. But, why'd we get that card? Oh, wow, yeah, lunar eclipse, change. It's just a change. Everything's changed. Everything's switched up a little bit. Emotions. I think we're just really trying to figure out this new ebb and flow of this world that we're in. We did just have eclipse season, and we did just have a powerful, great mutation, great conjunction. It's just different energies. It's a different Christmas vibe, but there's really there's definitely a good energy. It's just if you're holding on to the old story, you might miss out on the ultimate gift. So we just have to adapt and be able to change. It's right, I say it all the time, the only constant in life is change. I'll roll the dice for the final bit of clarity. We got Uranus and Cancer in the 6th house. Yeah, maybe it's just finding completely out of this world kind of emotions that are going to stimulate our reality, that can, be of service to ourselves and others. Maybe it's just humble. It's humbling in a sense of embracing the change within ourselves, not putting up the walls too much, but kind of breaking barriers down and finding out what's going to stimulate us in reality, and what's going to kind of emotionally fulfill us and give us the value of the reality we want. But it's just not going to look the same, right? Uranus in Cancer, it's just emotions could be it's like water and electricity. You get zapped. So I think we're just kind of going through it, and it kind of goes with the Taurus moon and Uranus. Just emotions are going to feel a little different today. With the squares to Saturn, Jupiter, but the sun's backing it up, and so is Mercury with trines. I would say overall, it's not a bad, it's a pretty positive day coming off the big squares, but it's you got to do things your own way that are going to give you the ultimate value. Don't let the world spell you into thinking you have to fit into a box, that you have to buy the fear stories. I think that's a big thing too. It's don't buy the fear stories. It's time to do things different. Live from your heart. What's actually stimulating you, and what's trying to lead you in some weird direction. I love you all very much. I hope you have a great Christmas Eve with the family. I'm going to put out a video for Christmas as well. So I will see you for Christmas. I love you all very much. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you mañana. Peace.